Dirty Old Sim here. All right, let me try that again. Dirty Old Sim here with the first episode of College Football Shenanigans, otherwise known as CFB26 Shenanigans. Okay, we're going to get right into it. We're going to start a new dynasty on CFB26. And you're seeing the cover screen right here. Cover story for this fantasy world is that there is a new commissioner and new people in charge of the NCAA, and they have decided to shake things up and make things crazy. They decided to realign everybody. They have also come up with a system of promotion and relegation, which we will get into here in just a second. Let's take a look at the new conferences right now. We're going to start off with the Power 5, and we're going to start with the ACC. Now, one of the first things they decided was they wanted to bring back the old Big East Conference. So because of the game limitations, instead of making separate conferences, we put them in divisions of existing conferences. So the Big East moves into the North ACC, with the existing ACC moving into the South. Actually, it's a legacy ACC. So this is how it is. In the North ACC, we got Boston College, Cincinnati, Louisville, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Syracuse, UCF, UConn, Virginia Tech, and West Virginia. That is in the North. Down here in the South, the old legacy ACC, we have Clemson, Duke, Florida State Seminoles, Georgia Tech, Maryland Terrapins, Miami, North Carolina State, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest. And that is your ACC. Moving along to the Big Ten, which really looks more like the Big 12, but, it is what it is. So we're going to run it like this. We got Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Northwestern. Notre Dame is in the Big Ten now. Reason being is the commissioners told the Notre Dame administration that they can stay independent as long as they want, but as long as they stayed independent, they would not be competing in the national title anymore. Just one of those ways to bring them in. So they caved. So we got Notre Dame in the Big Ten. Following up the Big Ten, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, and Wisconsin. Another game limitation is you can't change names of conferences. So the Big Ten has 12 teams in it. Moving along to the Big 12, which is actually the Big 9 because they only have 9 teams. They got BYU, Colorado, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, and Utah in the Big 12, which maybe later on down the road we'll throw 3 more schools in. Who knows? But that's how we're going to run the first season. And that is the Big 12. Let's move along to the Pac-12, or which in this scenario is going to be called the Pac-10 because there's only 10 teams. We got the classic Pac-10. We got all the West Coast schools back in the Pac-10. Arizona, Arizona State, California, Oregon, Oregon State, Stanford, UCLA, USC, Washington, and Washington State for the Pac-10 or Pac-12, whichever what you want to call it. And without further ado, we're going to move to the revamped SEC. Yes, I said revamped SEC. Okay, what we got here is, once again, you can't make brand new conferences in this game. So We brought the old Southwest Conference in and made it the West Conference of the SEC and moved everybody else to the East. So, without further ado, SEC East is Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. We made it this way because we use the Mississippi River as the demarcation line, and that moves us over to the West, which is mostly old Southwest Conference. Kept LSU in there just to make things even. The SEC West, otherwise known as the old Southwest Conference, Arkansas, Baylor, University of Houston, LSU, Oklahoma, SMU. Is anybody else out there bugged that at SMU is in the actual ACC, the real life ACC? I don't think they belong. Anyway, moving along, TCU, Texas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech. I guess you could call it the Texas Conference, but hey, it lasted for many years, and it was a fun conference. So, that's your Power 5. We'll move along to the Group 5. Now, each of these Group 5 conferences are paired with a Power 5 conference, and that Power 5 conference with that they're aligned. Each of these group conferences are aligned with will promote and relegate to the Power 5 conference. We'll start off with the American East, which the All-American Conference, which we made 2 divisions out of, and the All-American Conference will promote to the ACC. All-American East will promote to the ACC North, and All-American West will promote to the ACC South, and vice versa for relegation. We'll go over all that here in a minute. So in the All-American Conference in the East, we have Charlotte, East Carolina, Florida Atlantic, Navy, Temple, University of Alabama, Birmingham, University of South Florida. Over in the West, we have Army, Memphis, North Texas. Texas State has decided to join the All-American Conference and leave the Sun Belt. They traded with Rice, and we'll talk about that more in a few minutes. Rounding out the All-American Conference is Tulane, University of Tulsa, and UTSA. I think that's University of Texas at San Antonio. And that is the All-American Conference. Let's move on to Conference USA, who will be trading with the Big Ten, otherwise known as the Big 12. So they will stay one division. We got Delaware, Florida International University, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, Liberty, Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee, Missouri State, New Mexico State, Sam Houston, UTEP, and Western Kentucky. And Conference USA will be promoting to the Big 10 or Big 12, whichever you want to call it. And the Big 10 will be relegating down to Conference USA. Over here, by the way, we mentioned this earlier, no independent schools in this NCAA because we want teams competing and we want promotion relegation. So the days of the independents are over. Read 'em and weep. Moving along to the Mid-American Conference, otherwise known as the MAC, they will be promoting to the Big Ten, or the Big 12, which is actually the Big 9. Hopefully, the next version of this game, we can change names to make things easier to follow. So, but in this case, we got the MAC, Mid-American Conference, which is going to the Big 12 in this game. And the MAC Conference consists of Akron, Ball State, Bowling Green, Buffalo, Miami, Kent State, East Michigan, Central Michigan, North Illinois, Ohio, Toledo, University of Massachusetts, and Western Michigan. And that will be the Mid-American Conference. Now let's move on to the Mountain West, who will be promoting to the Pac-10 and vice versa. Pac-10 will be relegating to the Mountain West Conference. In the Mountain West Conference, we have Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Diego State, San Jose State, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Utah State, and Wyoming. Can't yodel anymore. That is the Mountain West Conference. We're going to move on. Last but not least, the Sun Belt, which is in 2 divisions now, and they will be promoting East and West to the SEC East and West. No further ado, we got the Sun Belt East, Appalachia State, Central Carolina, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, James Madison, Marshall, we are Marshall, and Old Dominion. And over here in the West, we have Arkansas State, the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana, Rice, I'll explain Rice in a minute, South Alabama, Southern Mississippi, Troy, and University of Louisiana at Monroe. And once again, they will be promoting to the SEC, East and West concurrently. And there you have it, guys. Going back to promotion and relegation at the end of every season for the divisional schools, it will be the last place team in each division that will be relegated in the SEC. And in the Sun Belt, it will be the first place team. There will still be a Sun Belt championship. That will happen every year. And the winner of that, plus the second place, plus the winner of the other division, they will be the teams that will be promoted. Same will happens in the All-American Conference. And in Conference USA, MAC, and Mountain West, it will be the conference champion that gets promoted. And in the Big 10, Big 12, and Pac-10, it will be the last place teams that get relegated. So there we go with that. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Now the big reveal. Let me go back to here. In this world, the Sun Belt and the All-American Conference made a deal with Rice and Texas State. But the real world reasons is that our save will be with Rice, and I want Rice competing in the Southwest Conference or the SEC West, as they did years ago. Call me sentimentalist, I don't care. So, without any further ado, we're going to end this episode with, I'm going to go back here, yeah. And we're going to end this episode by informing you that the team I will be running for this season will be Rice. And we'll talk more about this in the next episode. After it loads, we have a brand new coach His name is Reggie McFlee. I thought about Reggie McFly, but didn't want to do it. He is a recruiter. This is his first year anywhere as a head coach. He just seems to come out of nowhere. So Rice was desperate. What can I say? So he's a recruiter. His improvements are in the running game, offensive line, linebackers, and defensive line. He wants to build we want to build a power team in Rice, and our goal eventually is to win the Southwest Conference. But we got to get there first. So it's not like going up from League 2 all the way up to the Premier League, but this will be fun. So on that note, I'm going to say adieu, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. This is Dirty Old Sim saying sayonara.